Better late than never, I guess. This is the closest asteroid flyby in history. Scientists panic yet again after NASA again fails to track a new asteroid threat. I'm sitting here shaking my head. This seems to be happening way too often, at least once a week lately. Let's remember that we had the interstellar object coming in 2017, and they only saw it as it was leaving our solar system. And then 2 years later, this year, the beginning of August, another interstellar comet was found, but not by NASA or any other international space agency. It was found by an amateur astronomer in Crimea, Gennady Borisov, and the comet has been given his name. An amateur astronomer found it. He built his own telescope and had it pointed low on the horizon towards the sun. And this is something that NASA cannot do with the big telescopes. The big telescopes can't dip down that far, so obviously they cannot track things that are down that far. And that's a big mistake, because that's where I guess a lot of the things are coming from behind the sun, even interstellar objects. And from what the astronomers have told us, we will be expecting a lot more of those, because there's something at the edge of our solar system. They don't know what it is, but it's spewing out interstellar comets and debris towards our solar system. And it was confirmed by the Borisov comet that was found in August. Now this thing has been missed. NASA is on the alert, as we know, after confirming that an asteroid which was not picked up by their warning systems turned out to be the closest ever object to pass Earth in recorded history. The distance is supposed to be less than the distance between New York and London. That's astonishingly very close. NASA's asteroid warning system failed to pick up one of the closest ever asteroids to fly by Earth, and it sparked panic among the officials. Terrifying near-Earth asteroid identified as COPPEV1. I just say copy of 1 for short. It flew closer to Earth than telecommunication satellites. Thursday morning, and questions are being asked. Why is NASA not picking up? Why did it not issue a warning about this incoming asteroid? Well, what other excuse did it have this time? The COPPEV1. It's since been renamed 2019 UN-13, traveling at 3,825 miles above the Earth. That's how close it came, which makes it one of the closest near misses in recorded astronomic history. Never before has an asteroid come that close to us. This is really too much. I mean, I was going to say terrifying. It is terrifying. Because, what happened if you had the Akatsuki Effect on it again, and came barreling into one of these cities? Now, according to data from these early observations, the object came closer to the planet than any known near-Earth objects, the NEOs, on NASA's radar. Of course, since they didn't know it was coming in, it was not on the space weather listing of near-Earth objects, potentially hazardous objects of the 2018 that they have listed there. It's not on there because they didn't see it. They didn't track it. And they keep telling us, we don't expect things to be hitting us. We haven't found them. We don't see them. Of course, we can't see everything, is what they see at the end. They say at the end. This is just too much. Another asteroid hit us a couple of months ago, which they did not see until it hit us. And that came barreling in south of the Aleutian Islands. And it hit into the north of the Pacific Ocean. Of course, the Aleutian Islands are, it was in the middle of the Aleutian Islands. It's not populated. It didn't cause any damage. Thank goodness it didn't fall into any habitable land. And then we had the other one with the Akatsuki Effect that was supposed to sail past the moon into the depth of space, and it didn't. it came careening into the Caribbean Ocean. That's when the astronomers said, oh, it must have had the Akatsuki effect on it. The sun's rays heat up the surface, and it causes the temperature differential causes the asteroid to twist and turn on its axis, and it's as if something bombarded it and caused it to come careening into the Earth. So that was unexpected as well. That was their explanation. That's why they didn't observe it coming in until it hit. Now this one. Some of them, they did say that some of them they can only catch a day in advance or 2 days in advance, and if they had to do something about stopping them, they wouldn't be able to. Alright, so this thing is coming in at 3,852 miles distance above the Earth, and even more terrifying when considering that telecommunication satellites, we said, orbit at an altitude of 22,236 miles. So that's about almost a tenth of that distance. It's shocking. It's really shocking. And in my book, it's not acceptable. They're not doing a good enough job of tracking them. Now, the asteroid was closest to Earth when passing over South Africa at a distance approximately equal to that between London and New York. This is shocking. The asteroid was first picked up by an amateur astronomer. There we go again. All these amateur astronomers, thank goodness they're out there. They're not even getting paid. They're taking out of their pocket to update and get the best telescopes that they can afford, because obviously they're not being reimbursed for their sky watching. It's their hobby that they love, obviously. So this amateur astronomer, Tony Dunn, picked it up, and he tweeted, quote, "In about 45 minutes from now, newly discovered asteroid C0PPEV1 will pass only 6,200 kilometers above Earth's surface." That's about 3,800 miles, as we said before. 45 minutes ago, it was passing through Earth's shadow. And he says this is much closer than our geostationary satellites. Now, the asteroid passed by Earth at a speed of 27,000 miles per hour. That's 43,452 kilometers per hour. 27,000 miles per hour. And NASA claims the asteroid was likely only between 2 and 7 meters in diameter. Like 6 feet to 21 feet in diameter. All right? But still, experts believe this would be too small to do damage if it had impacted. They suggest that the asteroid would likely have vaporized due to friction with the air if it entered our atmosphere. This contrasts to the Chelyabinsk incident in Russia in February 2013 when the asteroid struck Russia in the atmosphere. That impact left 1,200 people injured and over 7,000 buildings damaged from the blowing out of windows. Now, Chelyabinsk asteroid was again 20 meters, that's about 60 feet in diameter, traveling at a speed of about as much faster at 40,000 and 42,900 miles per hour. This is by Ollie Smith, Express UK material. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.